something that I was going to bring up. So let's talk about, sellers become realistic. When Len was up here talking about the value of Federation's real estate at $100 million, I, in tongue-in-cheek, said to Ira it was 150. How do we determine value today? And under what cases should we really figure out what our real estate is worth? And it's kind of a multi-part question. What is it worth? And for you, Bill, on your side with funds and things like that, how often do you really need to give the value if this is a long-term strategy?
Well, unfortunately, we're regulated by the SEC because of the number of partnerships we've created. So we've been forced to do quarterly mark-to-markets for the last 7 or 8 years. And it's interesting because 7 or 8 years ago, we'd fight with the regulators on not wanting to write it up because our portfolio wasn't for sale. There was no real reason to write it up. And we're always felt that unless it was in the market, there was no sense in taking credit for the value creation. Now, the last year and a half, we've been fighting with the regulators to say, don't make us write it down, because again, we're not selling it, it's throwing off cash flow, and it's silly to market to a distressed market price. But it's the rule within which we live, and so you'll see in our portfolio, in my mind, unrealistically frequent valuations which lead investors to draw incorrect conclusions. And I think it's one of the flaws in the way illiquid assets are regulated. Because there is no secondary market for small funds like ours, and if you're a one limited partner. So what we've always tried to do is mark them, but stress that these assets will not be sold for 5, 6, 7 years, and that valuation could be far different, good or bad, than it is today.
Have the changes in the accounting rules, do they affect you, your funds? Yeah, the 157.
They really don't. I think to the extent they'll affect us, I'm hoping it'll be a slight benefit in that we have a hotel portfolio which loan covenants are different than our multifamily or other portfolio, and there are some mark-to-market covenants which have caused us to lose sleep at night because the hotel industry is a very difficult one right now. So we're hoping that 157E, since we don't have a maturity coming up for almost 8 years, it's all fixed rate, that the lenders will be able to look at it and say, they're being running well, there's no reason to market